Hello and welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. And I've got to say, there is a lot of different type of news to bring you in today's video. We've got the injury latest on Lionel Messi. Obviously, that's not exactly good news. We've got some encouraging sort of talk surrounding Ansu Fati. But we've also got, in this news round today, some funny stuff and also some downright outrageous things. So what I'm going to say is, stick around for the full news roundup, because really today, it's a very mixed bag. Let's do this! And we are going to start with some comedic value here on the news roundup today, starting here with the news on Antoine Griezmann, which has been breaking over the past few hours. Now, I want to take you back to the middle of the summer. Of course, we're in the process there of signing Antoine Griezmann, and when we got our man for 120 million euros, his release clause at the time, Atlético Madrid were very, very unhappy. They were basically saying that Barcelona had broken rules that we'd negotiated with Griezmann himself before we should have done, when his release clause at that time was 200 million euros. They were very, very unhappy. They believed there we were tapping up Griezmann and they wanted action to be taken. And I'm here today and I'm telling you, Barcelona have been fined. We have been fined 300 euros. 300 euros. Barcelona have been fined. Oh, it's a tough one. That's a tough one. That is going to really have a big impact there on our finances. And the best part is, Barcelona could actually appeal against this fine to try and get that either reduced or completely taken away altogether. And they're not really worried about the fine, not really worried there about the 300 euros. But what Barcelona are saying right now is on principle. They feel that by accepting that fine, even though it's only 300 euros, they'd be admitting there we acted wrongly, and they still deny all the accusations from Atlético Madrid, who also have 10 days to appeal this fine right here. But right now, Barcelona can rest easy. 300 euros, we have been fined. But on to the more serious stuff now, and I do want to talk about the injury latest on Lionel Messi, which of course is at the forefront of all of our minds right now. It is a concern, there's no doubt about that. And we're going to talk here about the injury that Messi has right now. The club confirmed it yesterday. They said that Messi has an elongation in the abductor of his left leg. His recovery will determine there the duration of his injury. What I would note about that is, Barcelona there, that announcement, once again, there's no time scale. They're not really pinning Messi down to a specific injury there, a specific problem. They've not given any grades. They've not really elaborated on the seriousness of that problem. And I think what we're back to here right now is a day-by-day assessment of Lionel Messi's condition. I don't think this injury right here is a serious one. I don't feel like he's done anything majorly wrong. But what Barcelona right now are worried about is getting Messi back in, getting him playing, and again, these kind of relapses. We've got to assess Messi right now. He is going to be missing on the weekend against Getafe. That looks basically certain right now. But after that, he's just going to be assessed. We've got to pick out a time for him to return. We've got to pick out a time where he can return safely. That's the most important thing. And on Messi right now, it's very much a day-by-day basis. What I've got to say, though, aside from just Messi, what I feel like the club should be doing right now is having a serious look into two things. Number one, the medical department at Barcelona. What exactly are they doing? What are they doing right now with regard to all of these injuries? And number two, all of the nutrition, all of the fitness program, everything at Barcelona right now should, for me, be being looked at. Because already this season, we're only a few weeks in, but we've had muscle injury after muscle injury, many different players. You think even about our forward line, Suarez, Dembele, Messi, and in defence as well. Jordi Alba's out right now, some of them think they've got injury problems. There's a number of different players who right the way through the season, even though the season is only young, we've had issues, and that's not good enough. Barcelona need to find the source, the root of these problems. Is it the training? Is it the warm-ups? Is it the warm-downs? Is it the recovery sessions? Is it something there to do with nutrition? Is it something outside of that the players are doing? Whatever it is, Barcelona here need to find some sort of answers, and that's the really important thing, because injuries are a massive part of the game. We've got to stay ahead of the game, and certainly I feel, given what we've seen so far this season, we've got to look further into it. But I want to talk now about something a little bit more positive. That's Ansu Fati. Of course, he appeared this morning on the front cover of Sport with the headline there, Ansu Happy. A big smile on his face, and you can see in there he's actually holding his brand new Spanish passport, which has been awarded to him after his years, of course, of living in Barcelona. And of course, the Spanish Federation right now are so keen for Ansu Fati to represent Spain, not the country of his birth, of course, but he has lived here now for a number of years. And given the enormous talent that he's shown so far, they're really determined determined to make that happen. But now comes the bit of a dilemma, I feel, for Ansu Fati. It's a really big decision quite early on in his career, still just 16 years old, of course, because, of course, the first big tournament that Spain would like him to feature in is the Under-17 World Cup in Brazil, which begins on October the 26th of this year. And coincidentally, that there is exactly the same date as El Clasico, and already you're starting to understand the dilemma that Ansu Fati has. Because if he were to go away there with the Under-17s, onto the Spanish national team duty, working his way in there to the international setup, it would be great for him, it'd be a great experience, and of course, he'd get his foot on the ladder, and that's really important, but at the same time, he would miss several big Barcelona games, and that's the issue. If Spain there were to reach the final of the Under-17 World Cup, it would mean that Ansu Fati wouldn't return until after 17th of November, missing there at least 4 more Barca games. And that's the big dilemma here for Ansu Fati. Does he go away there with the Under-17 side? Does he there go and make his name for Spain, go and start the process of becoming a full Spanish international? Or does he reject that chance, stay at Barcelona, stay with the first team, and hopefully feature in some games? And according there to the media right now in Barcelona, he's going to decide, based on what happens over the next few weeks, if Ansu Fati is going to continue in the first team, if he's going to continue getting those chances, if he's going to be in and around the first team squad. He is going to reject that chance, and he will stay at Barcelona during this period. But if not, if he's going to be put back there into the youth teams, if he's not going to stay with the first team, and if he's not going to have that chance to feature, he will then go to the Under-17 World Cup. So everything should be decided within the next few weeks or so. But if I was him right now in the first team, I think we should be keeping him there. He's a genuine threat. His chance, his opportunity, it's all there right now. We should be playing him. We should be sticking with him. And for that reason, I feel, stay right here. Stay at Barca. And also, on today's news roundup, one player that we do have to discuss is Carlos Perez, because when the squad list for Vilarreal was announced, and the return, of course, of both Messi, Dembele, Carlos Perez there was instantly discarded from the first team. He wasn't in that squad, and suddenly there, it looked like maybe his spell with the first team could be coming to an end, and that was going to be it, really, for Carlos Perez. However, looking at the plans now for Barcelona, looking at what they're about to do, and the current concerns, of course, over the fitness of Lionel Messi, that may not be the case for young Carlos Perez, because according to MD, Barcelona and Perez have already reached an agreement on a new contract for Perez that will keep him at the club until 2022. The extension there of his current contract would have happened automatically. Barcelona actually had a clause in place that if Perez played 3 more games for the first team, it would have automatically been renewed. But apparently, Barca don't even want to wait for that. They're not even going to wait for those 3 more games. They want to renew him now, and according to MD, on Friday, that contract will be completed. He'll have a release clause there at €100 million. And the big part of all this is, in addition to all of that, the club are going to assure him that next season he will be a registered first-team player for Barcelona, giving him the opportunity to potentially make his name in the first team. But I've got to finish here, guys, with the downright outrageous. And that relates to an ongoing spat between Marc-Andre Ter Stegen and Manuel Neuer at the German national team. Now, I know in principle this isn't technically Barcelona-related news, but of course, with Ter Stegen involved, this is something that I simply have to talk about. Because over the last few weeks, there's been a bit of sparring between Ter Stegen and Neuer. Neuer, of course, is the undisputed #1 at Germany. And Ter Stegen, I think very rightly so, believes that he deserves a chance. He deserves a chance in 1 game, in 2 games, to really stake a claim for that #1 German role, given the fact he's been one of the best, if not the best goalkeeper in the world over the past year or so. And certainly Ter Stegen is massively impressed at Barcelona, and he feels like he deserves a chance, but Neuer doesn't want that at all. He believes that Ter Stegen should keep his mouth shut. He's come out in the press, he said that Ter Stegen shouldn't be saying these things, and basically, Neuer, I feel, is getting a little bit uncomfortable that Ter Stegen is coming for his shirt. Bayern Munich president, yesterday, Uli Hoeneß, came out and said the following words on the spat between Neuer and Ter Stegen. He came out and said, "We will not accept the change in Germany's goalkeeping position. If that happens, we will stop sending Bayern Munich players to the national team." Honestly, I am genuinely serious. That's what he said. He basically said, if you put Ter Stegen in goal, if you replace Manuel Neuer as the #1 at Germany, we will not give the German national team any players at all from Bayern Munich. He's actually threatening there the German national team, and I could couldn't believe that. The Bayern Munich president coming out in the public domain and saying something like that, that is ridiculous. That is absolutely outrageous there to come out and say that. Because look, it's nothing to do with him. That's the first thing here. It's nothing to do with him who plays in the German national team. I know Bayern are very involved. I know that Bayern are the biggest club in Germany. But at the same time, you get in that team on merit. If Neuer is good enough, Neuer will play. If his form is good enough, he will play. But right now, Ter Stegen deserves that chance, and they know that. They're insecure. They feel like, hang on a minute, this guy's coming for us, and they know it's going to happen. And seriously, they are worried right now. And certainly, Bayern came out, they said, look, he shouldn't have said that. He didn't really mean to say those words, but he said it. It's out in the public domain. It's all out there. And Uli Hoeneß, you are an idiot. And that's what I mean, guys. Today's news roundup really was a mixed bag of different things in the world of Barcelona. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on everything that we have discussed in today's video. And that's everything from Barcelona's €300 fine to the threats there from the Bayern president towards Ter Stegen. Let me know in the comments down below for Getafe against Barcelona. Coming up right here. I'll see you then. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça. And of course, coming up tomorrow, it's all the pre-match talk.